Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I apologize for one, changing the early start time back to the normal start time, and then also being late. I apologize for that. Things just came up, so sorry. But I'm here now. We can play some more Eden. Finally. Hey, Nick. Hey, Golden. I hope you are all doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well, Aura. Also, damn, Nick, you were literally right on time. I opened Streamlabs, and I see you made that message right at 6 o'clock. Damn, dude, you're here before me. That's impressive. Ooh, my hand's cold. Hand is a little bit cold. My day's been alrighty. I hope your day's been good, Aura. I know the schedule enough to call early birds. Honestly, coming in here right at 6 o'clock, yeah, you've got like a 90% chance of always being right and being here before me. Yeah. Before I start, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, I did add something. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. I added another sound alert in the channel point thing. I did add another one. I also removed a bunch that just, I don't know, I felt like weren't used too often, or just like, I don't really want them anymore kind of thing. So I did a tiny little bit of that also today. I was also very late making my schedule. When the hell did I post it in Discord? Where is it? Okay, like at almost 11 o'clock. Anyway, I'm great. Had a day. Ooh. I hope it went well. You guys really are a bunch of dedicated bananas, honestly. Y'all really are, and I appreciate that so much from you guys. I hope the smiley face is a good thing. I hope it's a good thing that the date went well. I don't need specific details, but I hope it went well. 100%? Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm so glad, Nick. Good. At least one of us here is getting out there. Also, hey, Nevermore, how's it going? But, yeah, I added another sound alert. I'll do this one so you guys don't gotta spend your stuff. I hope the game isn't too loud that it overrides it. I hope you guys can hear it. So, we're gonna try. So, let's see.
Baron! You're a cunt!
Okay, I heard it. I hope you guys did. No, actually. No. It actually wasn't from Mari. That is, in fact, my Kamiyoshi Ginger calling me a cunt. Yep. All part of her ongoing, little week-long subathon. Everyone got to put their name on a wheel if they wanted to be called a cunt, just for tee-hee funnies. Mine got rolled on it eventually, and then I asked, hey, can I just use the audio? She's like, Yeah, go ahead. So there we go. I've got one calling me an idiot and another calling me a cunt. The enthusiasm is what sells it, honestly. The enthusiasm is what sells it. And good, you guys could hear it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright, really annoyed at Legends ZA. My favorite character only exists in the game if I play as female characters, so that sucks. I can't create male trainers. Ooh. Ooh, I hate that. Hate locking out characters just because of a gender choice. Like, let them all exist, dang it. I'd call you the C word if you removed the idiot one. Well, you got two choices now. One just costs more than the other. So, I guess it depends on the situation and whether, which one I am. Good times, guys. Very, very, very good times. The good times will keep on rolling also over on, Aura stream, by the way. Who was, spent yesterday before the power decided to kick out on her because, it seems like they didn't want her to finish the absolute amazing, looking Valentine's art she was doing, because if you didn't know, Aura's a great artist. Go and check her out, honestly, if you want to see some really good art. If you ever want me to make a sound alert, I'm all for it. Okay. I'll see if I can come up with some ideas. As it plays a male, there's a female character with a different name and personality that vaguely looks like him. Oh. Just let them both exist at once. Like with, you know, how X and Y and all the other, okay. How, like, X and Y, shit, what's it called? Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and is that it? That might actually be it. There's probably others I'm forgetting about. That if you pick one character, the other one still exists. Like, I mean, it's not exactly what you want, but it's still something. Just make all the characters in the game, darn it. And Blue is having a freak out over something. Probably just seeing people out the window, and he's just like, friend. Because, you know, that's Blue. Everyone he sees is friend. Speaking of another friend here, we gotta see what Frosty Tools wants to say about Aura. I still have them set to, I believe, the Conspiracy Theorist. So, yeah. I like this one. I like the Conspiracy Theorist, Frosty. Wake up, sheeple! Oracle claims to be a guardian angel, but I see through their cute facade. This variety angel is clearly using art and gaming as a cover for their true agenda. Spreading comfy, chaotic vibes and collecting lads from their Canadian sanctuary. Don't believe their lies about being ADHD and a girl failure. It's all part of the plan. I love the Conspiracy Theorist. Oh man, Frosty has been such a great addition. Anyway, what are we here again to do today? Yes, your Canadian sanctuary. Anyway, we are here finally today to play some more Eden of Grisaia. We started it last stream, so we're going to continue a little bit more, well, now. Bayo's like, this is my favorite character. It's not even just an opposite gender of the main like those games. It's a complete separate character to you, but the team has to move. The team has to have 2 boys and 2 girls on it, so your rain has to be a girl if you're not. No. Is it on an island? I'm currently mapping every. Oh my god. Oh, Frost. No, don't worry. Mari has been here for plenty of Frosty. Frosty has been around for a little while now. I had Frosty tools in for a little bit now. I think at least a month, if not a little more than that. Yeah, Frosty's been around for a bit. Alright, so where did Eden of Grisaia start off when we, began last stream? Well, all the girls in Mihama saw the news report that Yuji apparently committed a terrorist attack. Yeah. They kind of start questioning everything about him, but then also want to try to help him and figure things out. They try to call him, but the call gets intercepted and told, don't call this number again. They try calling JB, it gets intercepted by the same person and said, don't be an idiot, stop trying to call people. We know what you're trying to call about. You keep doing this, we're going to label you an accessory to terrorism. They then go to good old, Chizuru to try and find out more, and one, she was preparing to pack up the school entirely because their funding is running out. The school is closing fairly soon no matter what happens. She also knew something like this was probably going to happen with Yuji at some point in the future, and was already told by JB and Yuji himself, if something like this happens, don't ask questions. Just move on. It's better to not know. Yeah. The girls then decide to go and raid Yuji's room just to see if they can find anything. And what they do find is inside of his closet. Apparently he had a closet there the whole time. The door at the back of his room was a closet, not to the bathroom. He was scribbling on the walls. What was he scribbling? Notes about the girls and how to help them help themselves. Things like that. Also full of just balled up papers of just whatever the hell he's writing, including an awful, terrible note of him basically saying, I've helped 5 people now. Can I die now, Asako? Is it okay for me to die? Yeah. So, they're trying to figure out what they can do to help Yuji. Meanwhile, we go back to Yuji. He's being held by the government. Because they're using him now as a bargaining chip against Heath Oslo. Last time we saw Yuji back in Labyrinth, he was assigned suddenly to eliminate a terrorist that was flying into the country, who turned out to be Heath Oslo, the guy who initially took him in after his parents died, and turned him into basically a killer at the age of, I don't know, 10? If that? And he had a panic attack. But now the government is using him as a bargaining chip in order to do something with good old Heath there. Probably to either get him out of the country or to maybe not let him have the thing he really wants. JB can barely tell him a thing because she's no longer assigned to him, but she is at least kind of there for moral support. But yeah, things aren't looking good. Things aren't looking good at all. Yuji's in government custody, the girls don't know what the hell to do, and yeah, there's a known international terrorist now in Japan. Terrorist, what the fuck did he do? According to a news report, he attacked a consulate. Supposedly. But from what we've got, really, at least from what I'm figuring, that was all just something the Japanese government came up with in order to make him sort of known and to and also be kind of like a coded message to Heath that, hey, we got the kid you actually want. Let's talk. Yeah, so a lot of shit's gone down. A lot of shit has gone down. I know because I watch Mochi, but this is exciting. Ah, right. Okay, just remember from this here too. Part of why Heath Oslo wants good old Yuji after all of these years of leaving him alone and practically abandoning him he essentially wants to start up like a super soldier project again. In a way, kinda. That they initially tried to do, but they all kind of failed because like all of them either got nerve damage or went literally insane. And yeah, apparently turns out Yuji was part of that. He did get nerve damage, but he's still, you know, alive. And he's a damn good agent. So now he wants Yuji back so he can study Yuji, poke and prod him, and find out how to reproduce that so he can make, you know, super armies. Not like in a short amount of time either, but like, I'm gonna hold on to this kid for 10, 20, who knows, 30 years and slowly raise a brand new generation of killers. Yeah, Epi fucked up. Anyway, let's get into it before I talk too much and then an hour goes by. Because I can yap when it happens. I can definitely yap. Okay. So let us proceed. In the end, they gained basically nothing in the way of definitive information. The return to the dorm was a slow, dispirited march, and the dark clouds above seemed to reflect the heavy anxiety in their hearts. The situation hadn't changed at all. Their faces were full of gloom. Even when their eyes met, their mouths stayed shut. To speak would mean filling the air with more negativity. You can't think positive thoughts on an empty stomach. With this proclamation, Amane gathered all her classmates in the lobby and began to prepare them a late-night snack. The others didn't find her argument particularly persuasive, but they stayed put regardless. No one even tried to return to their room. They resembled nothing so much as a group of children who'd grown anxious while alone in their home, and were now waiting by the door for their mother's return. While the snack had been Amane's idea in the first place, she couldn't quite hide her own discouragement. Rather than anything elaborate, she threw together some oden stew with leftovers from her fridge. When people were feeling anxious, feed them something warm and they'll calm down a little. That was a lesson Amane herself had learned through experience. And so, as the oden simmered on top of a portable gas stove, the 5 young women slowly gathered around it and began to eat in silence. Yeah, Chizuru basically said, you guys, you're a bunch of high schoolers. There isn't really anything you're going to be able to do to help him. This is way beyond what you can do. You're literally just children. You can't go up against the government. At times like these, when things grew gloomy and quiet, one of them was always the first to make some noise. And of course, it was Michiru who was the first one. That's not what Teen Rebellion books taught me. Well, nah, they taught me a single kid can change the whole government. Good luck with that.
ボケっとしてた。代わりに大根あげるのよ。さあ遠慮せずにお食べよ。熱々のところをさ。
というか、なぜこの時期におでんなの？
なんかあんまり凝った料理する気分じゃなかったし、みちるがおでんがいいって言うから。
Conscious of their increasingly dark mood, Michiru had suggested a piping hot oden as soon as Amane suggested a meal. This sort of thing usually led to a rowdy free-for-all around here. She was probably hoping it might change the atmosphere, at least slightly. It didn't exactly end up working out that way, but Amane recognized Michiru's thoughtfulness. It was something she'd always liked about her. As time passed, a growing sense of powerlessness had gnawed away at the group's energy. Today, even Makina wasn't watching television. But when the principal eventually wandered in, she was wearing her usual dopey smile on her face. Oh, Chizuru. The woman clearly didn't know how to read a room.
なんだか美味しそうな匂いがしますね。
何か
ああ、別におでんの匂いにつられてやってきたわけじゃありませんよ。そんな怖い顔しないでください。
Oh, no, Chizuru, it's 100% why you came over here.
ではおでんはいらんのだな。それとこれとは話は別です。というか、皆さんのご要望に応え、この立花千鶴、苦心惨憺冷や汗さんとの思いで、なんとか春寺さんと連絡を取ることに成功しました。
I can fix her? Golden, there's nothing wrong with her. She's perfect as she is. I wish Chizuru had a route. I wish Chizuru had a route. If she had a route, she would probably actually be my favorite girl in the whole game. But that goes to good old Michiru. Of course there's a fan-made one. The fans always pick up the slack when the developers are, you know, nodding off. But good, okay, she got in touch with JB. She said she would try to do that for them. Hopefully it's not just, yeah, she said she can't talk to you guys. That'd be a kick in the teeth. Don't shove the daikon in her mouth! Or if you won't do it my way, fine, I'll... Oh my god.
その大根は私のなんですけど。
そんなことより連絡が取れたって。
Paradun? Did Frosty just give away a surprise? I think Frosty gave away the surprise. I have those turned on, too. Okay, so also, just because it came up, I guess. Unless this is just them hinting to, hey, do this. Frosty Tools will, in fact, come up with a message whenever someone does bits and stuff. Just to help acknowledge it. Beyond, you know, just me acknowledging it. There's one way I can find out. Yeah, the fucking thing just spoiled that surprise. I might have to work through that again. I don't know. Just to maybe not bring those ones up. I don't know. I'm just testing things out. It's the first time I've had that stuff happen. So what the fuck? Is that... I don't even know what Frosty's trying to say there at the end. Good lord. Good lord, Frosty Tools. Snatching the cell phone her principal offered her, Yumiko took the call off hold and eagerly pressed the speaker to her ear.
もしもし、榊です。
春寺です。お父様の件ではいろいろとご迷惑を。
Reminder, everybody. Just a reminder. All the stuff that happened in the girls' routes of them going, you know, being Yuji helping them with their issues, That all happened, he just never developed a relationship with any of them. So it's a weird alternate sixth timeline kind of thing. He managed to go down all of their routes without actually dating them and probably having sex with them, or any of that. So he helped her resolve the issues she had with her dad and all the stuff that happened there. He helped Machina scare her family's company off. Got good old Michiru to want to live. Got, got Sachi to work through her trauma. And also work through Amane's trauma, somewhat. So they went through all of that stuff just without the actual relationship parts. Meanwhile, Mane's like, we're friends with benefits. I think they might actually, yeah, I think they, in particular, might actually be friends with benefits on occasion. Or not, actually, no, probably not, actually. She said she only kind of did it initially, her sneaking into his room, back when she was wanting to be bullied by him. So obviously that's changed. So yeah, they're not anything right now. Which is an interesting take. I think that's an interesting take and probably the best way you can go about making a sequel to a visual novel with multiple routes. With multiple different girls you could end up, or just multiple different characters you could end up with. Just kind of make an AU where he didn't get with any of them, but still went through, pretty much went through the events of all their routes at once. Obviously, it didn't happen exactly like in their routes, because then with him and Sakaki, they would have been coming back from being on the run now. Because they were on the run for a year. And, well, about a year has gone by, just in general. And they make no mention of them having been on the run for that long. As far as we know, they're all still at the school itself. But who knows? They're probably not going to go into too much detail with that. Because the focus isn't on the school stuff anymore, it's the focus on Yuji is now in the hands of the government.
そのことは今はいいです。それよりも風見くんの件ですが。
もう大体の察しがついているのでは。
確証がありません。
と言われましても、私から説明できることにも制限があります。それは
承知しています。
ではまず風見雄二の現在の状況ですが、テレビで報道されているように。 風見雄二がテロリストの仲間であるというのは
Okay, I knew it was wrong. I knew it was something they came up with.
それでも彼の得意な立場上、嫌疑が完全に晴れたわけでもありません。よって彼の身柄は秘匿施設にて拘束されています。健康状態は条件付きで良好。私から説明できるのはここまでです。
それだけ？
Yeah, her hands are tied.
あと私から言えることがあるとすれば、風見雄二のことは忘れなさい。これ以上は関わってはダメ。所詮あなたたちとは住む世界が違う男だということぐらいかしら。
だったらせめて風見くん本人と会話を。直接面会したいとは言いません。せめて電話で本人と話を。
それも無理な相談ね。こうして私とあなたが電話をしていること自体。あなたたちの学園長がかなり強引な手段を使って奇跡的につながったのだということも理解してください。それに風見の雄二本人はあなたに会いたくないと言っている。
Yeah, he's kind of more or less done with them right now, because I think he's just kind of like, I've done everything I can. There isn't really any way for me to get out of this. Let's not involve them anymore. It doesn't concern them. It doesn't matter.
そんな、どうして？
あなたたちをこれ以上傷つけないため。といえば、かっこつけすぎよね。それでも、それが今の彼の偽らざる本音というものだと私は理解しています。できることなら 彼の気持ちを無駄にしないであげてほしい。
From the way Yumiko forced this reply through her tightly clenched mouth, it was immediately clear to everyone that the situation had not taken a turn for the better. The principal accepted her now silent phone from Yumiko, and with a glance at her students that seemed to say, "I told you so," promptly left the dorm as if to flee from their pursuit. They'd gained some new information from the conversation with Harudera. Firstly, the television reports were false. Most likely a politically motivated bluff of some kind. Did it work? I subbed. The Twitch app went haywire. It was my first sub to anyone, by the way, so don't get a big head about it. Frosty Tools did in fact make a message about saying you gifted yourself a sub. But I'm still confused by the last word it used. It's like... first? What? But yeah, okay, because there's no actual other notification that came up. Thank you for subbing. I wish I'd seen it. I will just copy and paste what it, sent. This is... oh, god damn it, really? That's my going live message from Discord. There we go. This is the message it sent. This is what good old Frosty Tools sent, just out of the blue. Owl of Nevermore, giving yourself a sub. You know quality when you see it. Hope this makes your viewing extra... first? What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? like what? Golden, you don't even know. Exactly. So go grab your walker, old man. Who knows? AI is wild. It's... okay, I gotta find out what the hell. If anything. I have no fucking clue, because it doesn't come up at anything. So, Frosty, what the hell does that mean? Frosty, what the fuck does that mean? Ah! But thank you, Nevermore. Thank you so much for gifting yourself a sub. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, I gotta change Frosty now. I need it to not be whatever the hell that just was. So this... maybe? You know what? For now, I can just be old-timey news reporter. That'll work. Yeah, it's like the only things I have turned on for this is... that and... is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, and let's just make sure it's in English, too. Just... I did not realize that was something. It could be in another one. Yeah, well enabled, any subs, bits, or charity donations will trigger a custom celebration in chat. These unique messages are highly customized to that supporter in that moment. It's funny. Okay. There's a lot to be said about AI, and I don't want to go into it, but I mean, just doing it for fun amongst yourself, like, just that, I think, is just like, yeah, okay, you're doing it for the goofs and the gaffs. Did the Gundam show off, shot fire go off at least? No, actually. Whenever you buy, like, if you give yourself a sub, it's not gonna appear on alerts or in the feed. It's only when you click the little thing that pops up to say, you know, like share your sub or whatever, that the alert will go off. If you gift, like actually gift subs using, you know, the gift sub thing, then an alert will go off because that always does it. So I think if you were to refresh the stream on your end, it should give the little pop-up for you to share, and then you can do like the type the message thing. And then the alert would go off. Yeah, it should still come up with that stuff even on mobile, because I'm pretty sure you watch on mobile. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you watch on mobile with your tablet and have a little keyboard attachment. I think you told me that a few years ago. How long have you been following, by the way? Oh my god, yeah, going on 3 years, yeah. Wow, that was probably some of your earlier messages, too. Oh. So yeah, sentience had a long and simple combo about a TV show about sentient AI robots. I didn't want sentience. I thought it was based. All I'll say about AI, it has its uses. It's good for teehee funnies in a way, but not for creating art and stealing art and stuff. There you go.
I'm subbed now, nerd.
Thank you, Nevermore, for the sub. 7 months subbed. Very nice. Very, very nice. Thank you, Nevermore. You never have to. No one ever has to sub, but I appreciate it when you do. Still a tiny bit phlegmy. I wanted my alert, damn it, and to call you a nerd. Surprised you don't just have my name changed in our DMs to call me nerd, unless you do. I'm so sure with mine, AI has its uses, just keep it away from creative arts. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. It has its uses, but it is not a replacement tool for literal artists and other people, and actual people and jobs. It's just a tool. It is a tool. But I'm not going to get into anything big long in that, because that's just that opens up a whole big can of worms. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm still a tiny bit phlegmy occasionally. I feel just something in the back of my throat. But I mean, it's a lot better than I was earlier, you know, in the week in general. Ooh. User AI for giggles. I find Google difficult when searching, so it helps to have a conversation. Literally fed everything I remember about a movie into him, and he found it right away. And he bought that gets my clusterfuck of thoughts. Okay for me. It can lead you toward an answer, which is good. It can help lead you toward an answer. Like, that's a good use for it. Honestly, that is a good use for it. I know a few people that'll use it to help them narrow things down. Which is very, very helpful. Secondly, Kazumi Yuji was currently confined in a facility of some kind, and had stated that he didn't want to see any of them. Because they're using him for something else.
彼の過去はあなたも知っているでしょ。そう簡単な問題ではないのよ。
Mm-hmm.
おそらく彼は何らかの形でテロリストとの交渉材料に使われる。
じゃあもしかして今回のテロの件が全部片付いてもユージは美浜に帰ってこられないの？
その可能性が高いわ。少なくとも風見くんはそのつもりでしょうね。
He's resigned himself to his fate.
信じられません。本当に風見さんは私たちに会いたくないと言っているのでしょうか？何かのっぴきならない状態に追い込まれていて、私たちに迷惑をかけないようにわざと遠ざけているのではないでしょうか？なんとかして一目でも本人に会って直接話ができればいいんだけどな。
As the group's spirits sank lower and lower, and a hint of resignation began to enter their voices, Machina abruptly leapt to her feet, her expression defiant.
冗談じゃねえのよさ。私はお兄ちゃんから待ってるだけの女になるなと育てられたのよ。ちょっとお茶がこぼれる。いいから座んなさいあんたは。止めてくれるなチルチル。もう私一人でも行くのよさ。
Yuji himself had taught Machina to claim the things she wanted through her own efforts. Her reaction was, perhaps, only natural. I just realized next when you stream Hacker's Memory, no ads for me. Yeah, you got no ads for a month now, at the very least. 1 month, no ads, uninterrupted, except by my own bullshit. And you also get to enjoy the emotes. So have fun using those as well. These days, it was practically impossible to calm her down once she got worked up. And at such times, one particular classmate always took her side, perhaps out of sympathy or concern.
会いたい人がいる。それだけで立ち上がる理由としては十分なのではないでしょうか。はあ、ちょっとサチ、あんたまで。先日風見さんは私にこうおっしゃいました。
Just your own bullshit? Oh, darn. Well, that's an endorsement not to sub again. Oh, great. I managed to not sell myself. Just clearing some notifications quick. I really gotta get this thing away from me. I really gotta get that thing away from me on stream, but I just can't help it.
私の声なんか聞こえちゃいねえし。さまざまな誤解も解け、力強くも前向きに生きていけるようになって、美浜を出ていくこともできるようになった私。そんな私に風見さんは言いました。
Alright, let's see what he said. What's gonna happen to the others if you leave, Sachi? If you don't have any urgent reason to go, why don't you stick around Mihama a while longer?
急いで出ていく理由もありませんが、長く残る理由もありません。こう言ってしまうと言葉はよくありませんが、正直な話、他の方はどうでもいいのです。風見さん、あなたには私は必要ですか？
Yeah, of course. I need you too, Sachi.
でしたら、サチはずっとおそばにおります。
Oh my god. Emoji spam because I can. Yeah, you can indeed emoji spam. Lost in her memory of these words, Sachi closed her eyes and turned her face upward, whispering to herself in evident pleasure.
一度必要とされてしまえば、愛されてしまえば、もう裏切ることなどできないのです。風見さんが私を必要としなくなるその日まで。それがメイド魂。それが小峰幸の生き様。 メッシ奉公、七条報告。というわけで、私は風見さんのもとへ参ります。たとえその行き先が地獄であったとしても。でも、花井協力して乗り込むにしても、結局ユージがどこにいるのかわからなきゃどうしようもないじゃないのよ。調べます。どうやって？
Who's the blonde? That's Michiru. That's my best girl in this game. She's the pseudo tsundere. She's an absolute idiot who wants to be like, it's not like I care or anything, idiot. But she does it so poorly. It's like she's rehearsing lines. She also has DID. Because of a heart transplant she had when she was younger. The consciousness of the other person came along with her heart. So there's technically two of them in there. Technically. Or, yes, she is also, like, the butt of so many jokes in damn near every route. Like, oh my god, she's just the butt of everyone's joke. But she doesn't help herself. She always manages to make herself look like a fool anyway, but I still love her for it. Oh, okay, kind of like Nokia's personality, only she's a literal idiot. She's trying to act that way, be that way. So she screws up all the time. The other characters are much better at being tsundere than she is. Like, a lot better. Again, it's like she's trying to read lines and read a script. She also doesn't have natural blonde hair. She dyes it. Apparently using, like, some kind of industrial-grade bleach or something that burns her scalp. And then also drinks, like, pure citrus or something? I can't remember the reason for that. I don't know. She does a lot of weird things. I still like her anyway. Oh, so she crazy? Yep, I'll see.
どうして私を見るのよ。
聞こえませんか？私の心の声が。
まあ、あなたの言いたいことはなんとなくわかるけど。
金と情報ぐらいしか役に立たないんだから少しは働いて役に立てばいい。
Wow.
心の声漏れてるから分かってるから言わなくていいから。
Wow. Sachi got so savage after fruit.
お願いできますか？っていうか可能なの？そんなこと。
まあ、風見くんの身柄がテロリストの手に落ちていないという前提であれば、何通りかの調査方法に心当たりがあるわ。ものすごいお金とそれなりの時間はかかると思うけれど。
お金ならあるのよ。
You do have like a few 100,000, yep.
あなたの口座のお金は部活に動かせないでしょ。
Oh, never mind.
では私のサメ貯金を使ってください。
お金をかければかけただけの情報が手に入るわけじゃないのよ。そのことで責められても困るし。いいわ。調査費用は私の資材で賄います。というか、そもそもサメ貯金って何？よ
し、情報収集と作戦立案は貴様に任せた。今日から貴様が作戦参謀だ。頼むぞ、榊参謀。では早速情報収集に取り掛かりましょう。今すぐに。
でもパソコンがないと。
じゃあユミちゃんの部屋行こうぜ。
Oh no, they're gonna find her homework folder.
連行します。
ちょっと痛い引きずらないで。
やれやれ、ごちそうさまぐらい言っていきなさいよね。まったく。どうしたのみちる？
一緒に行かないの？
いいの？あの子たち放っておいて。
仕方がないよ。今のままじゃ落ち着かないだろうし、このまま浮き足立っているよりは分かりやすい目標があった方がいいんじゃない？
相手は国なのよ。遊び半分で噛みつく相手じゃないわ。
This is other Michiru talking. This is the other one. They're serious.
そうだね。でもさ、じゃあこのまま風見雄二のことを忘れることができるのかと聞かれたら、あんたはなんて答える？
忘れる努力はするわ。でも努力って苦手なのよね。
Yeah, this is the other Michiru. If they're being this serious right now. And saying stuff like, you're up against the government. Not saying we're up against the government, specifically saying you're up against the government.
そういうあなたはどうなの？スオアマネ。
Yeah, this is other Michiru.
おう、フルネームかよ、松島みちる。
拾うところはそこじゃないでしょう。一方的に風見雄二を忘れろと言われて、あなたは平気なの？
That's hell shady. She just has a second personality that, again, big spoilers for Fruit. After she kind of came into existence, she only ever pops in and takes control in order to, shield Michiru from some kind of emotional distress. If she gets way too worked up over something, she will pop in and kind of take control to smooth things out, just to keep Michiru safe and okay. It freaked Michiru out because she never has any idea what happens during these times she blacks out. But the other one is always there, always ever present. And really was only really popped in when Michiru absolutely needed it. Though it got to the point, again, still, massive spoilers for Fruit. It did get to the point where Michiru was like, why doesn't the other one just take over full-time forever? It's not like, anyone really cares about me, and they're much better living my life than I am living my own. So we had to essentially force her to recognize she has a will to live. And then we gave closure to the other self as well, because they died young, without ever being able to say bye to their parents. Yeah. Yeah, surprise dissociative identity disorder caused from a heart transplant, of all things. Because Michiru had a bad heart. A very weak heart as a young girl, then after a friend of theirs, decided to unalive, and there was nothing Michiru could do, she went into such a panic attack, her heart practically exploded. And gave out. Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole thing. If you guys want to know the full everything about that, just go check out the VODs I got posted on YouTube. I've got all the girls' routes there. I have most of the common route from Fruit. There's a few things here and there missing, but I think they're more early on, and a lot of it is just kind of more slice of life style stuff. With little sprinklings of, maybe potential future story beats on their individual routes. So a few parts are missing, but 90% of it's there. Now in the midst of tidying up after the meal, Amane replied with a slightly awkward smile.
確かにユージのおかげで私たちはこれからも生きていくことはできる。ユージがいなくてもなんとかなる自信はある。
What are you doing the fingies for?
でもだからっていなくてもいいってわけじゃないよ。
Crazy and tragic backstory? All of them have them. All of them have some kind of crazy tragic backstory. You were there for Sakaki's with the moment of, body dysmorphia she had because of her dad. Yeah, they've all got some pretty heavy backstory.
特に私にとっての風見雄二はもう宿命みたいなもんだし、それが生き残った私の罰で、もはやそれが生きがいだしね。
You already made the simp sale. Stop selling. Oh, jeez.
その割には随分と落ち着いているように見えるけど。
私はほら、待つタイプの女だし、母親役の私がバタバタしてるとみんな余計に不安になるでしょ。もちろん不安がないわけじゃないけど、諦めたわけでもないよ。だって私に諦めない生き方を教えてくれたのはユージなんだからさ。それに私にとってのユージは無敵のヒーローなんだよ。どこへ行ってどんな困難に直面しても、私がご飯の用意をして待っていれば、ユージは必ず帰ってくるって信じてるもん。
けなげね。でもあなた、声が震えてるわよ。
そんなことないよ。
ふん。だったら私も何もしないで、ただじっとユージ君が帰ってくるのを待つことにするわ。何よ、人の顔じっと見て。
そうだね。何せ相手は国だしね。どうあがいたって立ち向かえる相手じゃないし、下手なことしない方がいいよ。あんたも無理しなくていいよ。
へえ、そういうこと言っちゃう。松島みちるはツンデレだよ。そういうこと言われちゃうと逆らいたくなるのよね。
やめときなって。危ないよ。絶対後悔するよ。
ふん。このみちる様をなめんじゃないわよ。
あ、ちょっとみちる、どこ行くの？
由美子の部屋よ。おでん美味しかった。ごちそうさま。
Squaring her shoulders, Michiru proceeded to stomp out of the lobby, breathing loudly through her nose.
もうなんか変なスイッチ入ってたみたいだけど、結局みちるはみちるか。
And thus, with Sakaki Yumiko as chief of operations, the intelligence gathering phase of the mission to recapture Kazumi Yuji began. That might sound kind of impressive, but essentially, the group had simply taken their first step toward discovering what they could do. It was a very small step, and there was no guarantee it had brought them any closer to finding a road forward. In fact, there was a good chance it had been entirely wasted. But regardless of all that, the pot Amane now carried back to her room felt somewhat lighter than it had a few hours before. Oh yeah, they ate out of it. Is that the end of a... Hey, it was. Okay, let's see. That's 2 scenes down. Okay, so it looks like scenes take about 2 to 3% on average, so... Okay, it's gonna be a lot. That's fine. The next morning, when Amane woke in her bed and looked out her window, she found that rain had fallen in the night. The sides of the asphalt road were still glistening darkly. Glancing around her room, she realized that Makina was nowhere to be found. She'd presumably stayed up all night gathering intel, and then fallen asleep in Yumiko's room. As for Amane herself, she'd slept so well that it surprised her a little. It had always made her anxious when Yuji went out on a job. She'd known plenty of agitated, sleepless nights. As a result, she'd learned exactly how to get a good rest at times like this. Basically, she had to force herself not to worry too much. If her mind was full of thoughts like, what if something happens to Yuji? Then of course she wouldn't be able to sleep. On the other hand, if she asked herself, what should we do once Yuji gets back? It got a lot easier to doze off. Okay, she found basically a coping mechanism for that. Under the circumstances, she had to admit that line of thought seemed overly optimistic. But anyone interested in marrying this particular man probably needed a certain degree of stubborn faith, if only for the sake of their mental and physical health. And so,
さて、朝ごはんどうしようかな。
this seemingly carefree attitude was, in fact, a manifestation of Suo Amane's strength. She had plenty of bread, tomatoes, and lettuce lying around. It wouldn't take too long to make a salad and some toast. Salad and toast for breakfast? That, huh. I don't know about that one. I don't know about salad and toast as two things that go on the same plate. That feels a little off. It doesn't seem as weird when you put that salad in between the two pieces of bread, then you basically got a sandwich, but just salad and then toast beside it feels, I don't know, it just don't sit right. It doesn't feel right. It would be if it was a fruit salad. Okay, yep, fruit salad I can see. But this was specifically a regular-ass tomato and lettuce salad, which really is a basic-as-fuck salad, but it's a salad I would eat and just demolish in seconds. I love my simple salads. Throw some lettuce in there, slice some tomatoes, slice some cucumbers, throw some dressing on it, and I'm a happy man. After that, she could cut a few slices of ham and fry some sunny side up eggs. Okay, okay. Maybe it'd be easier just to go with sandwiches? That way she could have everything ready by the time the girls woke up. Too late.
マキナ、あんた起きてたの？眠いんだけど、お腹が減って眠れないのよさ。なんかすぐに食べられるものない？
Here's a head of iceberg lettuce. Chew on it like an adorable little rabbit.
サンドイッチならすぐにできるけど、待てる？どんぐらい？10分？うわ。それどういう反応？っていうかすごい顔だな。すぐだから待ってなさいよ。あ、そうだ。羊羹切ってあげるから、サンドイッチできるまでそれ食べてなさい。ね。おお、糖分。今日は何のお祝いでありますか？一種ぞ。大げさだな。はい、空いてるよ。すみません、あまねさん。みちる様が空腹の限界を迎えたようで動かなくなってしまいました。何か熱量食を下給していただけないでしょうか。
Oh my god, Michiru.
お腹がゆるゆるで。
Oh my god.
あらら、みちるもか。今サンドイッチ作ってあげるから、それまでは羊羹でも食べて。羊羹？どこにあるの羊羹？うわ、生き返った。羊羹なら今マキナが、あ
I forget how good these VAs are. Oh my god. That was like just slurping a cup ASMR. Like, holy shit. They get to hear her fucking licking the bottom of the damn thing. Damn, those noises VAs weren't paid enough. Now I'm curious what the 18 plus patch, the non-Steam version, how much effort they put into those sounds. I have a feeling they probably did a really good job. Baby triple if you give me a popsicle.
金箔を解かれた OL がご主人様にしゃぶりつく勢いで羊羹にかぶりついてますね。ねえ、さっちゃんさ、それ他の言い方なかったのかな？
No, she could not. What is my everything under? Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the one thing just so Nevermore doesn't have to do extra shit to watch streams anymore. Don't say what it is, though. Yeah, that's regular Michiru. Oh my god.
ご覧ください、あまねさん。一本の羊羹を奪い合ってのダブル状態です。エロいですね。もしかして全然寝てないの？あんたたち。
Oh my god.
はい、睡眠不足のせいか、みんな頭が少し変です。
Don't use lack of sleep. Lack of sleep is not an excuse for that bullshit.
私も加わってトライアングルに参加してもよろしいでしょうか。
Oh no, please, no.
ああ、もうすぐ用意するからおとなしく待ってなさい。
No matter the circumstances, human beings always grow hungry. And once you add sleep deprivation to the mix, it's not unusual for things to get a little out of hand. A little? Amane was herself extremely familiar with the negative effects of hunger and fatigue could have on the human psyche. Holy fucker, how much of a boost do you get on earning channel points when... Yep, that's part of the perks. If you're subbed, you get extra. What is the Isn't it like a 1.2 times multiplier? Yeah, tier 1 is a 1.2 times the multiplier, tier 2 is 1.4, and tier 3 is 2 times. I think on average, if you watch for an hour straight, that should net you close to 1,000 points, I believe. So now you're averaging about 1,200 points an hour, if I'm doing the math right. All my previous ones were gifted to me, which was so grateful for, but damn, this is a lot. Enjoy the power of being able to collect so many more points. Enjoy.
Baron! You're a cunt!
It was dead silent. I had to do it. I had to do it. Oh. I had to do it in the pure silence. Congrats, you ruined your own moment. No one here was on the verge of resorting to violence, of course, but it's still painful to see two people fighting over a single piece of food. It's funny you added in, you're the only one who used it. I'm just happy calling you an idiot. I had to, okay? I just had to. It was like a perfect moment. It's like, you know what? If they'll let me use it as a sound file, let me just use the sound. I'm throwing it on there just for the tee-hee funny. Eventually, someone's gonna say, hey, what's this do? Eventually. Fortunately, there was no need for concern. Yes, we all agree. Baron is an idiot. I am indeed an idiot. I can never deny it anymore. I don't think I ever have denied it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever denied being an idiot. I am an idiot. The moment was just asking for it. Yeah. Truly was. Suo Amane always kept herself well stocked for just such an occasion. Soon enough, she'd opened up a few cans of pineapple to tide everyone over until the sandwiches were ready. The half-crazed young ladies proceeded to devour them messily, all but pushing their faces into the cans. 5 minutes later, the derangement brought on by their hunger and exhaustion had finally begun to fade. I still say the best moment ever was, and the no swearing timer has started. 10 seconds later, fuck! Yeah, that's why that one's a challenge. That one really is a challenge.
はーい、サンドイッチできたよ。アメリカ産の真っ黄色のマスタードとオランダ産のトマトケチャップはここね。あとは好きにハムと野菜乗せて食べなさい。
チルチル、食い方知ってる？
食い方も何も好きなもの乗っけて食べるだけでしょ。
ちげえんだって。まずパンにマスタード塗るんだって。
ちょっとかけすぎじゃない。
あんま辛くないからこんぐらいでいいのよ。んでな、レタス敷くじゃん。ケチャップブビるじゃん。
うわー、だからかけすぎだってば。
ほんでスライスチーズとハムな。その上にスライスオニオンとトマトでパンで挟んでガブッと食うのよ。チルチルはパンの耳は落とす派？
どっちでもいいけど。
まあとにかく食ってみ。うめえから。
おいしい。
How much you want to bet they were actually eating for these moments, just to have something in their mouth? Just having some kind of piece of food in their mouth for any moment where they've taken a bite and talk. Like, there's no way you can just copy that, like, you know, like, emulate that without something actually in your mouth that well. Unless you can, I don't know. I'm just thinking more of that shit. Like, I don't think I could do, I got food in my mouth, kind of talk without actually having something in my mouth. Then again, it's fucking me, and I just do whatever the hell I want when I voice people, and it always seems to work out. I still have fun doing it. I still have fun doing little voices and stuff for reading things out. I enjoy it. Oh, you so I'm redeeming the other Baron is redeemed soon. You up the price on no swear. Did I do that?
はーい、卵も焼けたわよ。
卵きた。俺それがいい。
なんか懐かしいわね。マキナが美浜に来たばっかりの頃はあんたこれしか食べなかったもんね。そうなんですか？そうよ。前に話さなかったっけ？マキナってば昔は何食べさせても喜ばなくて、でも この卵サンドだけはよく食べたのよね。
だってすっげえ美味しかったのよ。
こんな簡単に作ったものが一番美味しいって言われたんだから、当時の私ショックだったな。確かに美味しいです。簡単なんですか？うん、卵3個をボウルに割って塩コショウを少々。
Okay, start writing this down, guys.
あとはマヨネーズを多めに大さじで5、6杯くらい入れてよく混ぜてから。
Oh, that sounds so good.
フライパンで油を使わずにガシャガシャっと炒めてトロトロになったら完成。なるほど、小峰幸覚えました。そういえば榊さんは寝ちゃったの？はい、結局あれから一晩中調べていたのですが、さすがにこれ以上は調べようがないという状況にまで来てしまいましたので、一眠りしてから調査を再開するそうです。で、あんたたちは榊さんの部屋で何してたわけ？
私はユミちゃんがうっかり寝ちゃわないように監視。
私はユミ子を監視しているマキナが寝ちゃわないように監視。そして私は榊さんを監視しているマキちゃんが寝てしまわないように監視しているミチル様が寝てしまわないように監視していました。いや、そんな無理して一息で言わなくていいからね。あと一言言ってもいい？
Whoa.
聞きたくありません。
な
でも言う。あんたらバカだろ。
They really are.
違うのよ。バカはバカでも真っ先に寝たチルチルがいっちゃんバカなのよ。
何言ってんのよ。私が「あ、やべ寝てた」って目覚ましたら、あんたもプース言いながら寝てたじゃないのよ。
ちげえもん。私は寝たふりをしてチルチルを試しただけだもん。それに全然気づかなかったチルチルが悪いのよ。
ちなみに私はずっと起きてましたよ。榊さんにコーヒーを入れたり、夜食のおヤングの用意をしたりしてました。というか、考えてみればもともと榊さんは夜型ですし監視の必要もなかったのですけれど、新しい情報は1秒でも早く知りたかったので、結局朝まで。それで何か新しい情報は手に入ったの？
I don't think they found anything.
はい、榊さんの個人的な人脈や会員制の情報ネットワークを駆使して調べてみたところ、思った以上に多くの情報が集まりました。
まず第一にヒース・オスロ率いるテロリスト集団が国内に大量殺戮兵器を持ち込んだっていう噂だけど、あれは本当っぽいのよ。
Okie doke, Nevermore. Enjoy your snacks. Grab the good stuff.
大量殺戮兵器って具体的には？
そこまではわかんねえけど、多分過去に限りなく近い別の何か。もし過去だとしたら廃棄物を利用したものじゃないかって話で、過去じゃなかった場合は細菌とかガスの生化学兵器なんじゃねって話なのよ。
Yeah, just because you have radioactive material that isn't gonna explode in a bomb, you still have radioactive material. You could just make it blow in a way to spread it out over a large area as a dirty bomb. Just to, screw with people that way. Radiation sickness and stuff, just dying of radiation is not pretty. It is bad.
なんだってそんなものを。目的に関しては諸説ありまして、うさんくさいところでは第3次世界大戦勃発論に始まって、大陸に対する虚構情報による牽制、基地移設問題に対する目くらましの可能性なども上がっていますね。なんかどれもパッとしない感じ。ことは国防、ひいては日本とアメリカの暗部に直結する重大案件ですからね。そう簡単に正しい情報が手に入るはずもありません。いくら情報に精通している榊さんとはいえ、所詮は学生です。 1階の学生に集められる情報など真偽不明の噂話ばかりが大量に集まるだけでした。
Well, I guess it's time to take all those rumors and filter through them, find the parts that are consistent throughout, and those will probably end up being the truth.
ユミコも言ってたけど、これだけ情報が集まるということは、逆に言えば真偽を確かめる手段がない情報ってことなのよね。
Oh my goodness.
どうせ確かめる手段がないのなら、それっぽく偽装しただけの情報でもお金になるってことで、無駄な情報ばっかりじゃんじゃん集まるってわけよ。
じゃあ結局ユージの居場所は分からなかったんだ。
風見ユージはエリア51に監禁されているって情報と風見ユージは2人いるって情報があるけど、ど
Well,
っちを信じる？
based off of that footage, there may very well be someone who looks like Yuji, and they're using that just with his name as part of their smokescreen. And while he might not be imprisoned in Area 51, he's at least imprisoned in some kind of top secret location, so there's something there. Even in a lie, every lie has some basis in the truth, technically. I mean, some are really out there, but for the most part, lies have some basis in the truth. Just gotta be able to find it. But yeah, that report of him being imprisoned in Area 51, he's not imprisoned in Area 51, but he is imprisoned. And maybe there actually are two Cosme Yujis based off of that footage from the consulate.
なんかどっちも無理め。
今はまだ集まってきた情報の中から榊さんが真偽を見極めている最中ですね。
見極めるってどうやって？
女の勘だそうです。
Feminine intuition?
何よそれ。
In the end, there was simply was there simply nothing they could do? Even if they were to get their hands on accurate information, what could a handful of students accomplish with it? In the first place, why were they so fixated on Kazumi Yuji? This wasn't the time for such a question, perhaps, but if they were forced to answer...
なぜそうまでして風見ユージにこだわるのかだと。
だがどうしてもと問うのであれば、あえて
それは俺がサメだからだ。
What?
なんじゃそりゃ。
はいはい、サメマンはいいから。
Hold on, I'm gonna go back. Can I rewind the scene?
前に戻るよ。
No, no, it's not. That's too far.
何にせよ、まあいいわ。あんたたちもこれ
Damn
食
it.
べたら少し寝るのよ。
I can't rewind it.
起こしてあげるから。
Okay then. I went too quickly. I'm an idiot. As usual. Hold.
ショートカットの確認なんてしないんだからね。
That's option. That's dialogue history. Cursor. Now I wanted to listen to the music. I wanted to listen to the music that was playing. That's what I wanted to do, but I went too fast through it. And I can't go down. I can't go backward. So that's on me. I love that I returned you calling yourself an idiot. There you go. You got another free one out of me. Yep. Whew. Oof, wow, I'm more tired than I thought. I didn't mean to shut the window. Thank you for the clip, Nick. Delicious, careless bison hake. I need to know what kind of algorithm Twitch uses to come up with the string of words for every clip that's made. When your enemies are unseen and the situation itself is murky, there's a limit to what you can do. What's important isn't finding an immediate course of action. It's building up your mental and physical strength so that you're prepared to face whatever challenges may arise. Now, back to Yumiko's room. This is a different view than what we usually get from her room. Sakaki Yumiko had not slept well. Uncomfortably hot under her blanket, she tossed and turned for hours. And now, she'd awoken to the aggravatingly shrill voices of the cicadas. The silk shirt she wore instead of a pajama top was glued to her skin with sweat. It was incredibly unpleasant. Yumiko rose in her bed with all the grace of a lumbering bear coming out of hibernation. Then lowered her feet to the floor, quite cold thanks to the air conditioning, sluggishly took off her clothes and made for the bathroom. Hold up, something's missing. Oh, bro, where's Nursemon? Oh, I turned her and Nero off just for this right now. I think I could bring them back. Yeah, let's bring Nero and Nursemon back. Yeah, I turned them off for the first one just because. But yeah, I'll keep them here again. They're back there, don't worry. I just made them invisible for a moment. That was all. They're still here. They'll always be here. Oh, why am I yawning? In the shower, she briefly rinsed her stiff, sweaty hair with a camellia oil shampoo, okay. Then wiped the stickiness from her skin with plenty of body wash. Blah. Much better. Something simple to look at instead of just a face scan. Oh, gee, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I am not a cute girl. I know, I am negative simp material. I understand. You need the two blondes sitting on the tops of my screen there. I know what you're like there, Nevermore. Yes. I'm gonna be right back and grab a drink really quick. Yeah, there. Now my ugly mug is back once again. Alrighty. At about that point, she'd finally began to regain the capacity for coherent thought. There hadn't been a great deal of plausible information among the rumors she'd spent the previous night gathering. I miss this chat when I've watched the VODs. I mean, it is partially my fault because I stream so late my time that it's even later your time. So that's partially my fault, but, you know, full-time job doesn't help. But I appreciate when you can come by. I really do, Nevermore. Sensing she had reached the limits of her personal investigative capabilities, Yumiko had been forced to consider altering her methods. Specifically, it didn't seem likely that she'd get any further browsing the internet from her room. And so, she'd resolved to meet an information broker face to face. This was something of a daunting prospect for a semi-shut-in, box-cutter brandishing woman whose interpersonal skills left much to be desired, but there really wasn't any other choice. Under the circumstances, it wouldn't be right to complain about the nuisance or to push the task on someone else. By now, Yumiko had already decided to meet with an individual she'd settled on the previous night. Nah, it's my fault my sleep schedule was fucked and I have massive migraines that doctors are gaslighting me that they claim aren't real. Sometimes I crash out and miss the time slot. Oh, God. Migraines suck. I feel you there. I get them occasionally and... Oh. I don't wish that on anybody. I do not wish migraines on anybody. Those things are fucking awful. Take all the freaking Tylenol and stuff in the world and it like can just keep it at bay. I hate it. Hate migraines so damn much. I can like barely think sometimes. The meeting place this information broker had specified was about an hour and a half from Mihama by train. The neighborhood was positioned a bit inconveniently. It had taken her a while to decide whether she'd go by way of Shinagawa, Yokohama, or Shibuya. Once she arrived, a 5-minute walk from the train station brought her to the middle of a sloping hill road, and the address she'd been given. Oh hey, they got Wi-Fi. Despite the cellular computing device she carried with her, Yumiko was referring to a map she'd printed out on paper, as if to take a stand against the imminent death of analog culture. Oh, yeah, I've been meaning to tell you, one of your favorite Pokemon is in Legend ZA. Tyrantrum? Pidgeot? Talonflame? Oh, nice. Nice. And good. Talonflame kicks ass. He got so nerfed later. He got really nerfed later. He got so squishy. I knew Pidgeot had a Mega Evo. That I knew. That's an old one. Looking up from it, she gazed at the sign on the soba shop in front of her. Sure enough, it read... Okadaya. Look at that. Honedge line is one of my favorite. Pokemon nerfed them hard since debut. It sucks when Pokemon you like just get nerfed. It's like, fuck. I mean, I'm still gonna use it, but like, god damn it. Next, her eyes found the smaller sign, which read, now offering Wi-Fi, as if advertising a new menu item. And she suddenly found herself feeling rather disconcerted. She'd only just taken a shower, but she could already feel an unpleasant buildup of sweat on her skin. That was bizarre. Extremely bizarre. Who took their laptop to a soba restaurant? And what exactly did the smaller sign that simply read, Maid Soba even mean? Oh no, she had a maid cafe that sells soba? Why exactly did she have to set foot in this dubious establishment anyway? To answer that question, we would have to return to the previous night. Yumiko had been sitting in front of her laptop, rubbing her porcelain white chin and groaning to herself as she reviewed the copious amounts of nonsensical information she'd obtained. Perhaps I should change my approach? She knew much of this intelligence had to be nonsense, but she didn't have any way to separate the fact from the fiction. Accordingly, Yumiko switched her focus to searching for an individual who could evaluate the authenticity of the reports she'd gathered. In other words, she stopped looking for information on Kazumi Yuji and began to look for information on sources who'd be familiar with Kazumi Yuji's case. Aegis Last with the Gen 6 Goat. Now I use them because it's one of my fave Ghostmons. Same with Chandelure from Gen 5. I did like Aegis Slash. I like, who doesn't like a literal sword Pokemon? Like, that's just cool. And then also just me liking, you know, a big goddamn T-Rex. Tyrantrum, all-time favorite Pokemon, just all-time. Just because of the sole fact that he's a T-Rex. Gen 6 had some real bangers of Pokemon, honestly. They had some really good ones. He's in the game. Thank God. I might actually buy it now, too. It's just more of a reason to buy the game. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through all the Pokemon games, but who knows. We're only on Gen 3. ZA brought back fossils. Fuck yes. Add new fossils to the games. Come on, Game Freak. You know you want to add more fossil pokes. You also know you want to add another evolution or two. Come on. Give us more. Please. 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 Among these, an individual known as Jimmy Okada was mentioned as providing accurate and plentiful intelligence. Yumiko had groaned a little at the sight of that name. It sounded more like the stage name of a guitarist in a Japanese rock band than anything else. But under the circumstances, she couldn't afford to be picky. The man was an information broker's information broker, so to speak. She'd just have to hope that meant something. When she looked into this Jimmy Okada, she found that he had apparently belonged to the intelligence department of a major power's armed forces. It's not the new ones, but there's 3 in them. At least just the 2 callous ones and air. Of course, Aerodactyl. Of course, it's the pterosaur. You gotta have that one in there. And obviously, you're in Kalos, you're gonna have the 2 Kalos ones. You can't leave out Aerodactyl. Like, you just can't. It's Aerodactyl. Plus, it's got a Mega Evo, and Kalos is all about Mega Evos, so gotta have the Mega Evo pokes. But was ultimately dismissed in relation to certain character flaws, and now lived as a civilian under military observation. She'd assumed it would be difficult to get in touch with such an individual, but that fear proved to be unfounded. A few minutes on Facebook, the world's most popular social networking website, she'd struck up a conversation with him. It was almost anticlimactic. Oh no. Oh, no, 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 no. Guys. Is this gonna be the hardcore weeb that was in Yuji's Marine Squad? I mean, used to be an intelligence gathering before being kicked out for character flaws. Is having Yumiko set up a meeting at a fucking maid cafe? I think this is his weeb squad member. Oh, the god who will play a fucking ecchi eroge out loud in public. I know that a lot of people don't like that it's no longer turn-based for battles, but I love it feels more like I'm connected to my mons, not just shouting commands at them. I mean, that's kind of... I mean, that is just basically Legends' thing now, right? Legends is more or less the turn-based. It's still a mainline game, but they just took the battles in a different direction, which, honestly, changing it up every now and again is fine. I don't even think it's that big of a change. I mean, it kind of is a big of a change, but it's in a good way. You're actually doing more. You gotta pay attention more now because you don't want to get hit. You gotta make these decisions quick. There's no sitting there and stalling. You mash buttons now. You gotta make sure you mash the right buttons this time. It's no just, let's see, they have that, so maybe this is their moveset might be this, 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 and this. So, I might need to do this to counter that, but maybe I should switch in this one. It's, no, go, hurry, now. You don't do any actual moves, your Pokemon are gonna fucking die. So hurry up. Make those snap decisions. Also, you might die. You got a health bar now, too, bitch. In any case, while arranging a meeting with Jimmy Okada had been surprisingly easy, the place he designated for their discussion was this odd little establishment. XA, B, Y, now your attack moves. Okay. A maid-themed soba restaurant with private rooms and Wi-Fi? Honestly, it was beyond odd. Bizarre felt about right. Sakaki Yumiko felt something like a woman who'd been drinking cocktails with her boyfriend in a stylish blues bar, only to develop the sudden need to urinate, forcing her to decide if she'd look for a bathroom. But doing her best to push her anxiety aside, she reached out for the door to the restaurant. I read that totally wrong with the wrong everything. What is, you get it. You get what's going on. She's uncomfortable now. I highly recommend it. It's also a sequel to X and Y in that you find out what happened years later to some pretty major characters. That much I knew from YouTube title spoilers. Thanks, algorithm. As the sliding door rattled open, a loud voice immediately reached Yumiko's ears. Oh my god. Also, I think it is him. But oh my god. Stopping abruptly at the sound of this deranged diatribe, Yumiko turned her eyes tentatively toward its source. An employee was sitting in the kitchen, holding his head and screaming as he played an eroge on his laptop computer. I've come to a terrible place. In that moment, a profound sense of regret washed over her. It's a fucking cat-made cafe. Oh my god. He owns this fucking thing. Was the sequel done right in that it's not about the main gang? I think one of the members of your team is the little sister of the guy that loved to Yo! Duh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I like the world building without having to focus on the same characters every single time for stuff like that. As Yumiko stood hesitantly in the doorway, a cat-eared maid abruptly appeared before her. For some reason, she was speaking in an oddly shrill voice, almost like that of an anime character. Did she just say, meow? A bit of a cold shiver ran down Yumiko's spine. But after coming all this way, she couldn't bring herself to go home empty-handed.
こちらで人と会う約束を。
伺ってますにゃ。お部屋の用意もできてますにゃ。どうぞこちらへ。
はい。
あ、そこで朝あるから気をつけるにゃよ。どんくさい女にゃ。あ、靴はここで脱ぐにゃよ。
Wow.
さっさと来るにゃ。
なんなのよ。もう。
Hurriedly removing her shoes, Yumiko let the superficially polite, cat-eared maid guide her to the back of the restaurant, then kneeled down on her floor cushion to wait. After some time, the maid reappeared, bearing a bowl of stewed chicken giblets as an appetizer. Did it go off? No, it did go off. I just didn't really hear it. I gotta, like, boost the sound of that stuff for myself. It's low? Damn. I gotta try to rework some of that stuff. I might be moving all the sound alert stuff I have over to Tangia, because it seems to be just, yeah, like the same as sound alerts, but better. Like, just a lot better. So that's something I'll have to try to remember to do.
そうじゃなくて、相手の方はまだ。
None of the main OG team appears, none of the gym leaders either. Lunas doesn't even feel cramped. Probably not even good to be champion, you're probably not even gonna get all the badges. You're just an ordinary kid that loves to battle, and so are your friends. I love that because I always wondered what the NPC villagers in town like when the hero was dumped doing something. Okay. Excuse me. That's another changing up the formula. That's good. Pokemon gets a little too stagnant sometimes. It's a sequel, not focusing on the, like, anyone from the first main game. And you're not doing the same thing they did. That's honestly great. That's fucking great.
まだですにゃ。ここまで来て焦っても仕方がないにゃ。ママ、一つ。
Placing a glass in Yumiko's hand, the maid proceeds to uncork a bottle of beer?
私お酒は。
大丈夫にゃ。ランチに嬉しいノンアルコールビールにゃよ。
Okay then.
外暑かったでしょ。ママ、まずは一杯ググッと喉で楽しんじゃいにゃよ。これお品書きにゃ。ああ、うちのお店ではカツ丼って頼むとおどんぶりのご飯の上にキャベツと揚げたてのカツが乗ってるのが来るから、普通のカツ丼がいい時は煮カツ丼を注文するにゃよ。わかった？
はい。
Okay then.
そんじゃ、また後でご注文を伺いに来るにゃ。ごゆっくり。
This is so weird. Honestly, what is with this place? Well, whatever. She didn't have anything to do with herself until Jimmy arrived. Might as well browse the internet while working on her chicken and beer. After booting up the ultra-portable netbook she brought along, Yumiko pressed the F key to turn on its Wi-Fi. She couldn't help smiling in amusement when it actually found an open network. Glancing at the clock in the corner of her PC screen, she realized that the time for her meeting with Jimmy had come and gone without any sign of him. Perhaps it just isn't that easy to meet with a top-flight information broker. Or maybe circumstances had changed somehow? In a way that had prevented him from meeting her? Trying to suppress her anxiety, she waited for a full 20 minutes. Using the store's internet connection, she sent a number of Facebook messages to Jimmy, but there was no response whatsoever. Have I been stood up? Come to think of it, perhaps it had been a bit ridiculous to imagine that a mere student could so easily arrange a meeting with a former intelligence officer from a major world power. There was nothing for it. She'd just have to make a fresh start. With her mind made up, Yumiko called out to the cat-eared maid in order to request her bill.
すみません。そろそろ。
ああ、はいはい。お蕎麦ですにゃ。冷たいの？熱いの？どっちにしますかにゃ？
いえ、そうではなくて。
おすすめは冷たい方にゃ。冷たいのでいいにゃ。
Oh my god.
はい。
Oh my god. She's too timid. It would feel rather awkward to leave the restaurant having ordered nothing but an appetizer. Sakaki Yumiko had her strengths, but she could be quite cowardly about the oddest things. After less than 5 minutes of waiting, her soba arrived.
お待たせですにゃ。冷たいお蕎麦ですにゃ。
どうも。
The store was bizarre, as were its employees. She'd been given a serving of chicken giblets she never asked for, and their idea of katsudan was rather odd, but the soba itself looked ordinary enough. Still more than a little dubious, Yumiko cautiously began to eat her food, but found it perfectly edible. In fact, it was outright delicious. Thinking back, she realized that her last meal had been the oyang yakisoba with sauce that Komine Sachi had prepared for her last night. Suddenly remembering the fact that her belly was empty, she proceeded to gobble down the soba with gusto. Already on my second playthrough. First was just as me for real. Second playthrough was my evil team leader. Story started in Galar, and I was waiting for ZA to be her part 2. Makes sense as Galar is UK and Kalos is French. Seemed like the next place for her. With her stomach feeling somewhat fuller, she was just about to stand up and ask for the bill when a certain shady-looking foreigner appeared at her side, carrying a small pot of water and a few condiments. Fucking knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I fucking knew he was gonna be his old squad mate. This... Oh my god. How do you still have braces? Oh my god.
Ken! Ken! What a great waifu! I'm here today to show you all about Ken! 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 She's the very best! She will put every anime waifu up to the test! Whenever I'm sad, I get me some Kent! My penis goes up! It never gets bent! I say, Ken! Ken! She's the best!
Thanks for playing the Kent song, Nick. It's been a while since I've heard that one. Luna, leader of Team Night. Goal is to expand the night, whatever that means. Her Pokemon types are Dark, Ghost, and Nighttime exclusive. Ooh, interesting. This motherfucker is still wearing a Tuna Fish Man's shirt. This man was remarkably suspicious looking. That said, she had to admit the soba water was delicious. Worth it. It was so worth it.
Huh?
何か情報が欲しくて僕に会いに来たんだろう？
はあ？
君はジェームズ岡田に会いに来たんだろう？僕がジェームズだ。
This fucker.
だって
In an instant, Yumiko's mental image of a sharp, steely-eyed intelligence operative crumbled to dust. It was something of a shock to learn that James Okada was, in fact, a hentai-loving nerd who played eroge while making soba. Oh my god. Given that Yumiko's levels of stress and confusion had already been elevated for some time, it was honestly difficult to resist the urge to scream.
まあ何にせよよろしくだね。僕はジェームズ岡田。ジミーでいいよ。おう、君の自己紹介はいらないよ。もう調べてあるからね。
Of course you did. With this remark, Jimmy offered a casual, friendly smile. Calm down, Yumiko. You're on an opponent's home turf. You've already lost if you let him get you flustered. Although she honestly wasn't sure what winning would even constitute in this situation, Yumiko nonetheless cleared her throat and tried to calm herself.
ジェームズ岡田って本名ですか？
本名である必要なんてあるのかな。くだらない質問だね。
Oh my god.
戻ってエロゲの続きをしてもいいかい？
待って、聞きたいことが。
わかっているさ。君が聞きたいことは。
はい。
つまり君はさっきの猫耳メイドについて知りたいんだね。
Oh, Jimmy, go to hell.
違う。
彼女は僕の嫁さ。そう、僕が嫁と知り合ったきっかけは秋葉原のメイド喫茶で出会ったのが最初で。
Oh no. He's a complete man-child. Regret weighed heavily on Yumiko's mind. It would have been better not to come. Was this man really a former intelligence operative who'd worked for a major power? Well, perhaps his personality had been exactly why he'd lost that job with his organization. He seemed to enjoy blathering endlessly on regarding things that you hadn't even asked him about. And that seemed like a potentially serious flaw for someone involved in top-secret matters of national defense.
というわけで、僕は彼女との結婚を決めて、彼女の実家である蕎麦屋を継ぐことにしたのさ。理解できたかい？
So, he finally went to Japan, to the promised land, went to a maid cafe in Akihabara, met a girl at a maid cafe, she probably worked there, and managed to rizz her up enough that he married her and then took over her family's soba shop and turned it into this. How was your Valentine's Day? It happened. It was just a day. Yeah. My Valentine's Day was just a day.
はい。よく理解しました。それで、風見雄二の件ですけれど。
Yeah, it was just a day.
おー、はいはい。ユーズリーの話だったね。もちろん知っている。彼なら今、市ヶ谷の地下に監禁されているよ。
Oh, you just know exactly where he is.
それはなぜというか、そもそもあなたはなぜ彼のことを知っているの？
そこから話すのかい？もう古い話さ。
Just give the clip notes. Oh no, this one might go on for hours. The idea of listening to him prattle on was rather aggravating, but an executive summary might not get her to the truth. More often than not, you'll learn more from the idle chatter of your source than the words they choose more carefully.
まあ簡単に言ってしまえば、僕とユーズリーは軍の同期だ。それに彼が市ヶ谷に飛ばされた後、僕はその親会社でシステムエンジニアをしていたからね。彼のことはそれなりに知っている。
Oh, okay, you really did give the clip notes. Valentine's Day was pretty great. Did a beautiful scene with the couples in the Barbie doll family. Ah.
ということは、もしかしてあなたがロビー？
Oh my god, he told them. Oh no, they would have read his. Right, they would have read his file, so everything would have been in there.
おっと、その名前の男はもう死んだよ。僕はあくまでもジェームズ岡田さ。
Okay then.
死んだ？
そう、ロバート・ウォルソンは とある諜報機関の地下であるものを作っていた。というか、作るのを手伝わされていたというべきかな。
Oh?
そのあるものとは？
君、名前なんて言ったっけ？
榊由美子です。
サクアキ？
Oh my fucking god.
榊。
どうにも日本人の名前は発音が難しいね、ジュビコ。
No, they're not. They're not hard to pronounce.
由美子。
まあいい、ジュビコ。とにかく君、シギントって言葉を知ってるかい？
SIGINT?
確か通信傍受による情報活動網のことですよね。
I'll drop pics in Discord later. Okay.
そう、つまりその通信傍受に必要な莫大な計算をするには極めて高性能なコンピューターが必要になる。そのコンピューターを極秘開発していたってわけだね。
Jubiko Sakaki. Oh my god.
でも日本にはもうシギントシステムが存在するでしょ。
まあね。でもそれは通報法を遵守した表向きのシステムだ。僕らが作っていたのは何者にも縛られない規制外のシステムだ。
そんなものがこの日本に。
まあちなみにね、この店でオープンになっている無線 LAN の回線もそのシステムを中継している回線だ。
Oh. つ
まり君はさっきからそのネットブックで間接的にシギントシステムにアクセスしていたってわけさ。
え？
ああ、心配はいらないよ。システムの障害を利用してこっそりとアクセスする回線だからね。
Oh, well, he put a back door in the system. Interesting.
システム本体はもちろん管理者にも発見はされないし、君のパソコンのデータも盗み見されるようなことはない。
But Jimmy will.
逆にこちらからはシギントシステムがクロールして集めた情報をある程度までは盗み見ることができる。
Okay, Jimmy. You're actually gonna come in handy here.
ユーズリーに関する情報もそこから集めたものだ。
では風見雄二が市ヶ谷の地下に監禁されているという情報は？
もちろん本当だ。僕の嫁も間違いないって言ってるし。
Just call her your wife, dude.
嫁が？
まあそんなことはどうでもいいだろう。他に聞きたいことは？
ではなぜ風見雄二が？
それは昨日のチャットで説明しただろう。それに多くの人間が懐疑的ながらも正解にたどり着いている。
クローン兵士計画？
そう、それ。つまりは優秀な兵士の遺伝子を組み込んだクローンを生み出そうっていう計画だね。大量殺戮兵器と同等に戦争も最後は人間っていう発想のもとに計画されたものだよ。身体能力はもちろんのこと、従順で精神的に強い兵士を作り上げる計画らしいけど、別に本気で即実戦導入を検討しているわけじゃなくて、20年後をめどに進行しているらしいよ。
Yeah, they're in it for the long term.
戦うための兵器を生み出すのと同じように、戦うための人間も作り出す。
そういうこと。まあロボットを作るよりはいくらか安上がりだよね。
Oh my god.
兵器に求められるのは攻撃力よりもまず安価であることが重要だし、
That is true.
1機30億円の飛行機を買うよりも30人の死を恐れない兵士を買う方がいいと考えるのは、長い期間戦争を続けている国では当たり前の考え方だよね。
そんな計画にどうして風見雄二が？
Because he's like one of the prototypes for this super soldier program.
それも簡単な話さ。今回日本に入国したテロリストであるヒース・オスロはユーズリーをクローン兵士計画の遺伝子提供者として高く評価している。君はどこまで知っているかわからないけど、オスロの元にいた風見雄二は極めて優秀な殺人装置だったからね。なんとしても取り戻したいんじゃないかな。
それを阻止するために政府が身柄を拘束したと？
まあそれはそうなんだけど、
Yeah, there's always
それほど
multiple
単純な
layers.
話でもない。これはあくまでも僕の予想だけれど、オスロの目的はユーズリーだけじゃないような気がするんだ。
Yeah, what does Oslo want? Yuji's a secondary objective. What's the primary?
どういうことでしょう？
だってユーズリーの身柄が欲しいだけじゃ大量殺戮兵器を国内に持ち込むリスクにメリットが見合わない。 もっと大きな目的があると見るのが普通じゃないかな。
Yeah, what the hell is he going for?
確かに。
実のところ僕はオスロの本当の目的は日本に極秘で配備されたシギントシステム、通称タナトスシステムの強奪なんじゃないかと睨んでいる。
タナトスシステム。
そう、そんな超法規的な諜報装置があることが公になればシャレにならないし、簡単にテロリストの手に渡すわけにはいかない。そこで交渉が始まる。つまりテロリストが欲しがっているケイザミ・ユーズリーを渡すからタナトスシステムを諦めろ。もし諦めないのなら我々はいつでも彼を処刑できる準備があるとね。要はユーズリーの身柄はテロリストに対する交渉材料としてストックされているというわけさ。
そのタナトスシステムには人命を犠牲にするだけの価値があると？
It's probably worth more than one life.
あるね。あるけれども、タナトスシステムの価値を君にどうやって説明したものか、
彼を、風見ユージを救い出す方法は
ないね。そもそもユーズリー本人がそれを望んでいない。
そう。それが一番の問題ね。
Okay.
セーブしないんだからね。
I am going to save there for now.
シナリオ進行度の確認なんてしないんだからね。
7% of the way. I'm going to save there for now, and I'm going to call it there, because that was a lot to take in. That was just a lot to take in. Fucking goddamn Jimmy's back. Robbie, whatever his name is anymore, I don't know. So yeah, there we go. That was more of Eden of Grisaia. We're gonna get back to more of that another time. I'm not sure when. What we are gonna get up to though is right here on the schedule. Yeah, so tomorrow I have something tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm actually doing on my stream tomorrow. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. That's why it's just question mark. I don't really know what I'm doing. It could be Eden. It could be something else. It could be more Hacker's Memory. I don't know. But what I do know is, for sure, at 6:30 tomorrow. 6:30 tomorrow, I will be back on Katie's stream for some more Katawa Shoujo. Should be, I'm pretty sure. Let me just check her schedule really fast to make sure that I'm talking about the right week. Pretty sure it's this week. Yeah. So tomorrow, 6:30, I will be on Katie's stream to continue Katawa Shoujo, and we should be getting right to the end of Act 1 and starting on Hanako's route if we do everything right. We're in the right place to do it, so yeah. So, what's going to happen tomorrow on my stream itself, I'm still not sure. I'm still completely unsure. So, whatever happens is going to happen. But the rest of the week is very simple. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 6 will be more Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Get back to even more of that, go through all of that, Digimon goodness. And I'll have to remember to not talk about Time Stranger during those streams as much as I can, just for Nevermore's sake. So I don't want to spoil anything for you, Nevermore. I don't want to spoil Time Stranger while playing. You just gotta wait until July to be able to play the game, and then we can finally talk about it. Wednesday and Thursday I'll be taking off from stream, but Wednesday will be our normally scheduled watch along in the Discord for Kamen Rider Ryuki. We'll probably get through another 6 or so episodes. I think that'll get us right on track to watch Ryuki's movie and then continue into the rest of the series. We will see. Finally, more Hackers Memory. Also appreciate that about no spoilers. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best not to really talk about it much. the most I might say is maybe just game mechanics in comparison, possibly, because I think I've already said it a few times before. But I'm gonna not, like, at the very least, I will not spoil fucking story. At the very least, I will do my best. But you know how I get when I just start yapping. So yeah, that's what next week is. Hacker's Memory, and then Monday morning with Katawa Shoujo on Katie Stream in the evening. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys right now, I believe. Yeah. So, I think I'll have more opportunities, so I won't raid out tonight. But, thank you, everybody, for watching, commenting, lurking, and for subscribing. I appreciate it very, very much, guys. Like, so much. I'll be back tomorrow, presumably at 10 o'clock in the morning, for something. We will see. Hopefully I'm not late. And then we got collab with good old Katie later in the evening. But until then, I hope you all have yourselves a great rest of your night. And I'll see you next time.